guys, this is Tarot with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, and for the month of November, I am doing my monthly Enhance Your Psychic Ability series. This one is my fourth my fourth video in this series, and it's mainly meant to help people enhance what I truly believe we all already have as human beings. I believe that every living thing on this planet is psychic, because it's meant to help people and animals and plants and every living thing to navigate in this world, to help and aid in survival, basically help find food, to stay hidden from predators, to know when there's danger. All of that I believe is like psychic ability, that we all have these like sensory feelers on us, where our intuition are like the little hairs that raise up on the back of your neck is like, oh, there's danger, or I feel like we're getting close to food, or getting close to water. And that's for a lot of animals and even plants on this planet, where they just know when to bloom, when to close, when to go dormant. And I think as human beings, we've created whole societies just like many animals, and within those societies we've created certain beliefs and religions and things that would then make us feel like something that is very natural to us, which is knowing when there's danger, knowing where the best place to set up shop for a home is, knowing where there's food and water. Like all of a sudden that's not normal, like, oh, that's just woo-woo stuff, like that's not people shouldn't be able to do that, or that's just made up. And to me that's crazy, because it's like, but it's just a part of being human. So what I do in this series is just to maybe alleviate some of that fear and ingrained societal way of thinking and beliefs, and to help you to enhance that natural ability that you and we all have, and doing it in various different ways, because I believe that by practicing different ways, we then have more tools in our toolkit to be able to open up to the world around us, but also getting to know yourself better and how your intuitive abilities work best. Some people are better at holding objects and just knowing information once they hold the object. Some people can scry really well. Some people are great with auditory spirit communication, or the communication of different energies, not just spirits. I think that we all have different talents, just like other talents. And some people are really good at singing, some people are really good at painting, some people are really good at math. I'm not one of them. But in today's episode, what I really want to do is to work with spirit again, since I know this is something that kind of freaks people out sometimes, because it's a realm that we don't know a lot about. That it's I mean, a lot's been documented, but I don't think science has necessarily caught up in that realm. And I really do believe that one day science is going to be able to be like, oh, okay, here we used to think that when you died, that was it. Okay, now we know the spirit lives on, and here's our scientific proof of that. And I think one day that'll eventually happen. But for now, some people are like, ooh, it's like, some people believe in spirits, and it's like a scary thing, and and there's all this like myth and lore that's kind of put into it to maybe enhance people's fear of that. I want to alleviate some of that fear with spirit by trying different ways to work with spirit. What I've done in past episodes, one episode I had it was like a piece of jewelry, and I had you guys comment like, what do you think what are you feeling off of this jewelry? And and people came up with all sorts of things. There was a lot of commonality between the comments, which I thought was awesome. And I think it's awesome for people to be able to see that in the comments, like, oh, like I'm connecting to what other people are connecting with, and that's great. And I think that kind of helps boost confidence in people. Also, there was spirits coming through And it was like the same spirit. And it was interesting that the same spirit was coming through with a lot of different people, the same female, grandmotherly female energy. And I thought that was great. And another episode, I had a picture of my old cat, Presley. And at first I didn't tell you that this was my old cat, but I had you guys come up with impressions. What are you seeing? What are you hearing? What are you feeling? What are you smelling? And again, there was a lot of commonality between all the comments. And so that was great. Then we did a scrying session. I asked you about my grandfather who has passed, my Filipino grandfather. Well, actually, both grandfathers are gone, but I most specifically wanted to focus on my dad's dad. And again, a lot of commonality between the comments. And again, we're working with spirit, but it's in different ways that I think takes that pressure off of like, ooh, this is scary. So I have another fun activity for you guys. In this activity, I want you to either think of a person that you really want to communicate with who's crossed over, or just be like, whoever's here. Let's have a chit chat. And I do want to say, make sure that you ground yourself, make sure that you are opening up your energy, but that you call in your guides and you ask to be protected. You have a protective visualization of light around you, and that's what I do. I imagine information coming in through my crown chakra, and I'm just like this pillar of light of like, roots coming down from my legs and then light coming into my head. So it's like this like pillar of light. And then I just kind of see what comes in. So again, make sure that you're protected and you're only asking beings of the highest vibration to come in and give you a message. So the way they're going to give you messages this time is through music. So I know that you guys have musical playlists on your, whether you got like an iTunes playlist on your cell phone, or you have a playlist on your computer, or maybe you just want to turn on the radio in your car or truck, or SUV, whatever it is that you drive. Or maybe you have a radio stuck on top of your bicycle, and that's cool too. What I want you to do is just ask a question maybe, or just like, of the person that you want to communicate with, like, what is your message for me? Or like what I did, and I'm going to show you my answers in a moment. I just said, I am open to the energy of whoever's in this room and who would ever like to communicate with me. I used my phone and I had my iTunes, music on there, and I just pressed shuffle. So there would be like tons of random songs, because I have like a really eclectic taste when it comes to music. So there's like opera and metal and alternative and like R&B, and I have like 80s music, 90s music, early 2000s, like I have a lot of different stuff on there, and I have a lot of, I have cultural music, like from tons of different cultures and languages. So I thought it would be fun to use my playlist. So I just asked, okay, like who's here? Like the first song, like communicate to me with the very first song. That'll tell me something about you. The first song that played was Gasolina by Daddy Yankee. And when the song first starts, it says Puerto Rico, and then you start hearing like a dirt bike, on stage, just, and then Daddy Yankee starts playing the gasolina, just like goes into the Gasolina song. And so right away I was like, okay, so maybe you're like, Hispanic or Latino. I'm getting male, and I was like, and maybe you were Puerto Rican, Puertorriqueño. I was like, maybe like, and you spoke Spanish or Puerto Rican, and I'm getting very young male energy, like with the dirt bike. And I was like, okay, and I was like, what else do you have for me? And like, what else do you want to tell me about yourself? So that I know that maybe I'm on the right track. So I skipped to the next song. I just pressed the like next button, and the next song popped up on my phone was Toni Braxton's I'm Still Breathing. So I listened to a little bit in the lyrics, because sometimes the messages in the lyrics, or sometimes the messages in the title of the song, or the person that sang the song. And you go again with your intuition. And so then I'm like, okay, I'm still breathing. So this person is saying, I still feel very much alive. I still feel like I'm here. I'm like, maybe I'm like feeling like I'm not dead, so again, so maybe this life was taken suddenly. So then I said, okay, with the next song, tell me help me out with some more information. So I press the next song, and it's The Offspring, and it's What Happened to You. And so again, I was getting that very young male energy again with these two very like upbeat songs, minus the Tony Braxton song. And in that song, it's talking about drugs. It's talking about like life derailing, and and it's like people asking like, what in the world happened to you? And so I think that was him telling me that he messed up, that somehow drugs were involved in his demise. Right after that, I clicked next, and I got the Hadaway song from the Night at the Roxbury soundtrack, What is Love? What is love? Baby, don't hurt me no more. So, and the reason I'm not playing the songs here is due to copyright. So I'm just telling you what the songs were. Otherwise YouTube will have a knit. So, okay, so what I was getting with the What is Love is this person was having trouble figuring out like I had issues loving myself, hence the drugs and things that I did, which may have ended to my demise. I think this person knew they were dead, but they were having a hard time coping with it. And so then this person is like looking at me like, so what is love? I want to experience love here on the other side. I feel like a little bit stuck. And so I'm like, okay. So then I'm like, I feel like in a couple more songs, and I think that's all you need really to get your message across, So I limited the number of songs because I felt that, that I didn't want to keep going on with like 20, 30 songs. So I was like, okay, I feel like his message is going to wrap up in a couple of songs. So I played another song, and it was Janelle Monáe. I love Monáe. And her song is Sally Ride. She's talking about traveling to the moon, just like intuition, and in the song talking about trust, like who can I trust? And so now I'm feeling like, that bravado that this spirit first, this male spirit, possibly Hispanic, showed up with like, yeah, I'm like, yeah, I'm hardcore, yeah, and I like ride dirt bikes, it was like, yeah, I like messed up, I did a lot of drugs, I had like a hard time like loving myself, and then it's like, okay, like all that aside, I just want to be loved, and I want to find out what love is. I want to go to that place of love. I feel like in the meantime, like for some reason he felt stuck here. So then it's the who can I trust? It's like, are you somebody I can trust that I'm talking with right now? You, some girl sitting in her, in her woo-woo room. Can I trust you? Because I've been having a hard time trusting some of the energies here. I'm having trouble getting to the other side. I just want to get to the other side. And so, I did absolutely like, you can trust me. I'm here to help you. So then the next song was Angelina's Release Me, like no kidding. And again, that's that song has a little bit of Spanish in it. And so I was like, okay, so to me that was like validation that it's still the same spirit speaking, because it's like, release me, puede no, it's like, and it's just this, and then the lyrics, it also says, I can feel your touch, I can hear your voice, release me. So it's like that was almost kind of eerie to hear that. It's like, oh my gosh, like it's almost like he is in another dimension. He's in a dimension that I can't physically see here in our world, in our dimension. And he's like, I can feel your love. I can feel your touch over here. I can hear your voice. And he's asking me, please release me. Please help me get to the other side. If you are somebody that I can trust, can you please help me? And so right away I was like, okay. So I put my phone down, and I do try to help spirits get to the other side. So I did a whole thing, imagining my spirit guides coming in, imagining what he looks like, which I thought I could see him pretty clearly, a very handsome young man, and I just imagined a big tunnel of light opening up for him, and just the light swallowing him, and him saying goodbye. And so then after that was done, and I felt like it was finished. I played one more song just to confirm that he was finally on the other side, and that he was now going to go through all the steps and the transitions that he needs to go through to, you know, in that new space. And so I played one more song, and that song was Maria Maria by Santana, Carlos Santana, from the Supernatural album in Spanish. And so to me, I know Maria is like, in that song, it's, you know, it's got a different connotation. It's a girl living, you know, kind of in the slums and things like that. But also, if I don't know if you guys ever been to like a Spanish mass or something like that. Sometimes they talk about, you know, like praying to Guadalupe and Maria and like Santa Maria. And so I was like thinking like Maria Maria, like oh okay. So to me that was like immediate confirmation, like that he was on the other side. He was feeling like he was with the saints and angels, and you know, being from what I believe to be a very Catholic background that he had. So yeah, and then I felt like his energy leave the room. So this is what I want from you guys is on Monday on Monday I'll post another video with all of your comments of I want you guys to try and connect with somebody specifically, or just do a general like who's here and just play a few songs, and I want you to write down the names of those songs and who played, like who's the musician for those songs, and then any other things you got, like listening to the lyrics, like oh I thought this and I thought this, and then once you have everything written down, put the story together. So what did you think this person was trying to tell you? And so I really look forward to your comments. I think that this is a fun way to communicate with spirit that has the least amount of that weird, creepy fright factor. You know, it's just, you're just listening to music and you're just writing down the names of the songs and the artists that sang them. And then after that, you know, just look at all the songs, look at what you wrote down, like lyrics that stood out to you, like write that down, and then put it all together and form a story and let me know in the comments. So, you know, so the comments of this video tell me, you know, again, just list your songs and then list what you got out of that. And I will read your songs and your, you know, kind of rundown of like your summary of what you thought that all meant, and who you thought you were connecting to, or who you were trying to connect to, and then I'll read that in my next video, because I think that it's great here that we have this interactive like share out, you know, where I do something and then you guys do it too, and then that way we feel like this, like, you know, little community of all of us just trying. And I never consider myself some like perfect guru. I'm always trying different ways to open up what I consider all my different clairs. I do have, you know, a lot of different clairs, but I try to strengthen the ones that are my weakest, and I try to make even more strong the ones that are my strongest. So anyway, so that's it for me, spiritual homies. I look forward to the songs that you guys hear when you're doing your spirit communication, and then what you thought about it. And remember that this is a safe place. Nobody's going to make fun of you. Nobody's going to mock you. Nobody's going to tell you that you're wrong. Again, it's just practice. You know, you're never wrong if you're practicing, because your heart is in the right place. All right. So I will catch you spiritual homies. I'm like spiritual. Spiritual homies in the next video on Monday. And I'm wishing you an awesome day. And if you dug this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to click subscribe. And don't forget to click that ding 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 notification bell for more videos just like this. And if you want to catch a reading with me, head over to www.kittensweetsandtarot.com. And I have mediumship readings too, as well as my card readings. So yeah, peace, love, and chicken curries. Peace out!